Well, Lee Doddridge joins me from Cardiff in the UK. He's a security expert with Covenant Security Worldwide. Let's talk about Berlin. There's relief on the one hand that, as Angela Merkel says, one threat has come to an end. But there are also concerns too that this man who was under surveillance slipped off police radar.
Yes, obviously hindsight is great. They're looking back now and saying, well, how could it be that we have a suspect under surveillance and not long after they pulled the surveillance, this incident happens. But it's very hard at the time to make the decision whether to carry on with surveillance or not. There's regular reviews undertaken to determine whether to continue or not, what evidence has been found so far. It's also unfortunately looked at with resources and finance. In the UK, we had a similar incident. We had 7/7 bombers appear in another operation. They were not followed, and then unfortunately we saw the attacks carried out in London.
But he made it to Italy. I mean, he had a train ticket in his pocket, and he also went under various aliases to put police off the scent, which affected the search. What is it like operating and cooperating across borders in circumstances like these?
You would think that it would be quite straightforward, but in fact it's not. You do have, obviously, each country has their own set of legislations and laws. And obviously, if he's already planned an escape route with, like you say, using various aliases, it is very hard for the authorities to put such a broad search in place. And in fact, it's almost quite impressive that he's been caught already in Italy, regardless of the fact that he's crossed borders. He was actually identified, and obviously the situation has now been resolved there. The initial concerns, I think, was the fact that he could possibly still be in Berlin, possibly injured and likely to carry out something else before he was arrested.
Do you think that social media, that the rise of it, the accessibility of it, can it help or hinder searches like this?
There's almost a split camp on social media. The police and other authorities need to act on credible intelligence, and quite often with social media, a lot of false reporting can be actually gathered. It really is a tough call to say whether to put things out on social media and use that tool and people's casual observations to try and find a suspect. It is a very difficult call to make actually on that.
So it adds an extra layer of complexity. Now, look, Daesh released a video of Amri urging retribution. Do you think we're talking about empty or real threats here to Europe's security?
Undoubtedly, we have real threats across all of mainland Europe, and that also includes the UK. We've seen since the Berlin attack, obviously the German security services and police, being very proactive, arresting another two brothers at the moment seems unrelated to Anis Amri, obviously in the commission or preparation for another attack. There is a high threat, and we know Daesh has put a call out for all their supporters to use whatever means necessary in what we're calling household or even kitchen terrorism, to use what they've got available to hand, either from at home with knives or axes, or even using their vehicles. They're losing key grounds in places like Syria and Iraq. And unfortunately, we have to prepare ourselves to see more and more attacks of this nature.
Oh, it's scary times, isn't it? Well, Lee Doddridge from Cardiff, thank you very much.